Pulse on health now, and teens exposed to secondhand smoke, they may be more prone to breathing problems. That's according to a new study from the University of Cincinnati. It shows non-smoking teens who live with a smoker are at a higher risk of shortness of breath and a dry cough. They also have a higher number of visits to the ER or urgent care. A small new study reveals obesity may cause heart complications during pregnancy. Researchers tracking 11 obese expectant mothers under the age of 35 as early as their first trimester. They had higher blood pressure and their hearts didn't pump blood as efficiently as normal weight women. Now, these are all risk factors for preeclampsia, which can put both mom and baby at risk.